Hi, I'm Sherry Lee Myers. I am the co-writer and co-producer of Angel Lady, the movie that you just saw a slice of. And I'm also known to some of you as the host of the podcast How to Connect with Angels, and also the creator of My Angel Prayer on Alexa. And I feel so incredibly honored and blessed that you are here tonight and taking this hour with us so that we can bring you deeper into the magic of Angel Lady, because we are looking for partners. And I want you to know that this evening is all about showing you what we're about so that you will have an idea by the end of the hour whether or not you would like to continue with us and perhaps host a screening of Angel Lady when the movie comes out at the end of the year. So we have a lot to show you, and Before we start, I want to tell you I am deeply, deeply, deeply grateful to my two event coordinators. And Debbie Garcia is manning the StreamYard. Karen Palmer is working on the webinar, and I hope that's popped up and that you all can see that, or that you've joined us on the Facebook Live. But those two ladies are, you'll meet them at the end of this hour because we're all going to be talking about how we're moving forward together. So, let me explain just really carefully and succinctly what we're offering you. We're offering you an opportunity to host a screening of our movie, Angel Lady, to your community. It could be your online community, it can be your in person community. All of this will be happening toward the end of this year. The reason why we're starting now is because we want you to come along with us on the ride, to watch the movie being made, and we want to work with you to help you to with your outreach because we have some tools that might help. And I am all about making sure that my friends in the angel community have exposure because I believe with all my heart that the work that you're doing is changing the world. And I want more of that. And I'm supporting you, and I'm hoping that you'll support us. So, what we're going to do first, though, is show you more of what the story of Angel Lady is. So, first, we're going to show you a video link. I'm sorry, a 4-minute, 5-minute video narrated by one of our actors, and it's going to be the story of Angel Lady. After that, we're going to be talking to the director, Edgar Pablos. He's an incredibly special guy. We're going to be meeting my husband, Dan Moore, my producing partner, and we're going to have a Q&A. We're going to be talking about the film. You can ask us any kind of questions, and if the Q&A is working, and if it's not working, we're going to go right into the next phase of this, which is our partnership. So, if Deb is ready, we can perhaps show the story of now.
Angel Lady is a gritty, inspirational fable set on the border. It's the story of Ella Dolan, a card-sharp single mom who's emerged from a 2-year stint in prison. She's determined to start life anew with her eccentric, brilliant 13-year-old son, Danny. They change their names and settle into a trailer in a working-class neighborhood of Socorro, a very small old border town outside El Paso, Texas. Ella hires on as a waitress at a Mexican restaurant run by a local legend, Chavalita. Ella is barely making ends meet when a mysterious glitch appears on their old TV. She's very skeptical when her next-door neighbor, Doña Maria, and her lady friends call the glitch an angel. They urge her to share the phenomenon. They call Ella the Angel Lady. Ella resists because she knows it's a busted TV, and she really needs to keep a low profile. But miracles seem to occur, followed by cash donations. Ella is compelled to play along, as she needs the money to send Danny to a summer program for gifted students. And the Angel Lady business is catching fire. For a time, life is pretty wonderful, even for people like Ella and Danny. She's romanced by Tab, the Playboy publisher of the local newspaper. Danny makes a real friend in Teresa, Doña Maria's granddaughter. But as the glitch gains followers, the town divides into factions for and against Angel Lady. Danny is bullied constantly. Then the stakes grow even higher. Billy shows up, Ella's abusive ex-husband and partner in crime. He wants to cash in on the TV and get back together. When Ella harshly rejects him, he teams up with a sleazy politician to blackmail her. She has to confess the angel on the TV is merely a glitch or go back to prison on bogus charges. Ella resists the temptation to betray her supporters. One dark and stormy night, Ella attempts to run away with the glitch TV. She plans to sell it and stake out a new life for herself and Danny somewhere else. On an obscure country road, blinded by a dust storm, Ella crashes into a deep, wide irrigation ditch. The water pours in. She is about to drown. Ella finally prays for help. Amazingly, her neighbor, Doña Maria, appears to tow her out. The miracle inspires Ella to return to Socorro for her court date and to trust that her angels are with her. Even though the glitch seems to be gone, Ella now believes in her connection to a higher, greater energy that will produce miracles if she's willing to ask. Back in Socorro, Ella stuns the town with a dramatic courtroom confession as Danny, Tab, and the police entrap Billy and the corrupt politician. Happily, she's exonerated of all wrongdoing, and her followers, now her friends, forgive her. They know that Ella had experienced a true miracle because Doña Maria had passed away a couple of hours before she appeared to Ella on the road. Thank you for listening to this Sheridan Film Company presentation.
Hi. Now I want to introduce you to the man who's going to direct our film, the only director that we have in our minds and in our hearts. And before I bring on Edgar Pablos to talk personally with his take about the film, I would like to play for you a really beautiful piece that he created about his feelings about the film.
Hello, my name is Edgar Pablos, the director of Angelic. What drew me initially to this project is that at its heart, it's grounded in magical realism. Angels walk among us. That's the magic, and they are real people. That's the realism. I love movies where the magic comes out of a well-grounded story. It has to, in order for us to believe that the magic is real. And that would be our approach when we make this film. The story and the performances must be grounded in reality so that when the magic does happen and peaks out, it's that much more powerful. The other thing that drew me to this story was that it focused on a single mother. I have the utmost respect for single parents juggling so much to provide for their kids. Movies like Places in the Heart and Kramer versus Kramer, both directed by Robert Benton, are a real influence on me, and I would approach the directing of this film in similar tones. Our lead character, Ella, has a checkered past that landed her in prison, and she struggles to make up that lost time to her son, Danny. She wants to be the best mom possible, but her tactics in doing so aren't always the best of ideas. And her journey is really a path of forgiveness and learning to ask for help, which is something that I can relate to. I also think that I bring a unique voice to this material on two fronts. One, the story takes place where I grew up in El Paso, Texas. I am familiar with how a border community straddles two or more cultures and creates something new. It's that authenticity of the border region that will inform the audience not to dismiss the notion that angels walk among us as part of some local folklore, but instead feel and embrace the magic this community experiences on a daily basis. It's in the soil. And here's where Ella is embraced by the Mexican American community and where she learns to love herself and accept who she is regardless of her past. The second front is my coursework at USC. I completed a double major in cinema and religion. I studied the Old and New Testaments, and I was very much affected by the Bible stories and how the writers were able to convey their meaning effectively through parables and morality tales. I'm ready and excited to lead our team to create a movie that audiences can not only relate to, but to be inspired by as well. Thank you.
Hi, Edgar.
Sherry.
Hey, everyone. This is Edgar Pablos, our director. As he mentioned, he is a USC grad in film and religion. He is an award-winning filmmaker, and he has this encyclopedic access and love for film. And I would love, Edgar, for you to talk about the films that are inspiring you with our film, Angel Lady. What films are you drawing from?
Absolutely. I do love those straight dramas that have that heart in it. And I mentioned it on the video, Places in the Heart, Kramer versus Kramer's, the films of Robert Benton. I'm very much influenced by him and his work. Um, Also, I do love magical realism. That's embedded in our culture here on the border with the Latin American writers, and how specifically magical realism translates perfectly in cinema, because you have those moments, and if it's done right, you can create this really grounded story. But when the magic comes through, you believe it. You believe that magic, and I think those types of movies, specifically like the Mexican film like Water for Chocolate,
Yeah.
I think use that brilliantly. But also, let's not dismiss the masters. The films of Steven Spielberg, that have a lot of heart, that uses magic and special effects to tell the story. I think in particular, Close Encounters
Mhm.
is a great story that really underneath it it's about using our God-given talents. When we're inspired by something, whether it's inspiration, God, the universe, however you want to call it, that the inspiration comes through us, and then it's up to us with our God-given talent to search for the signs
Yeah.
that would lead us to that path to our own destiny, if you will. And I just
Mhm.
love those types of stories.
Well, Edgar, let's talk a little bit about the arc for Ella's character, and what is it what is it that she's missing, and what is it that she gains by being in this community?
Well, I think this is something that I noticed a lot growing up. That a lot of my friends who were not Latino, that came from various backgrounds, that I noticed that there was a hesitancy to show warmth, a hesitancy to show love, to embrace. Like, for example, my brothers, my dad, we all hugged and kissed each other. That was just the way it is in the Mexican family. We just embraced each other. But there was a hesitancy among my friends and their parents, especially their dads, to show any type of affection. And so that's difficult, I think, in certain communities. And so I think Ella was brought up in that world, where warmth and affection was not given.
Mhm.
And it's something that you have to learn on the way. And sometimes with the struggles that Ella has had,
Yeah.
she hasn't experienced that. And so for her, asking for affection, asking for help, is difficult for her. So her journey really is about letting that community in,
Yeah.
letting that light in, to show her that it's okay to be affectionate, it's okay to love, it's okay to embrace, it's okay to be who you are, and show that kind of love. I think we sometimes are afraid of that for whatever reason.
It's it is well, I'm a wasp. I mean, it's very foreign. I grew up in Ohio, and Dan will attest to all of this when we introduce him, but our backgrounds were so different. And one of the reasons why I fell in love with you as a director was because you brought us into your family in El Paso, and we met them and we met the community, and you took me around, and I said, my gosh, I need to see this. I need to understand. I need more of this, and I feel that Ella does too. And let's talk a little bit about her relationship with Danny and how her time, you know, what's at stake with that.
Sure. Being a single mom has its challenges on top of just the normal thing of bringing up a teenager. And you brought up a great point, Sherry, at the beginning, that when we were doing the development of the script, that I am not a father, I don't have kids, but I have a lot of nieces and nephews. I saw what my brothers and sisters went through, and also what you went through as a mom as well.
Mhm.
And so hearing those stories and those challenges on top of that, and plus I worked for a producer who was a single mom,
Yeah.
and for many years, watching her, not only struggle with raising her young son, but also produce three major motion pictures at the time that when I was working with her.
Yeah.
I just thought she was incredible that she was able to do that, and also get what the director needed for those films. In many ways, to provide what he needed in order to create the films, and she was amazing.
Yeah.
This is a woman named Annie Stewart that I respect very much, and so watching that, I was able
Mhm.
to, I think, that relate to what Ella was going through. But because she is struggling in this world of escaping her past and
Yeah.
bringing her son into what I feel that what's happening right now in the world is this toxic masculinity that exists, and it's hard for young boys especially to transition to go into a more affection, a more love environment, because the pressures of being a man and what quote unquote what being a man is about.
Mhm.
And so she's navigating that very delicately,
Yeah.
of raising this young man who is gifted, that he's a smart kid, but he gets bullied. And
Yes.
how do you deal with that? How do you raise a child in the environment that is today? And it's very difficult for her. So that relationship is struggles with that environment of the toxic masculinity. But with on top of that, you have the Mexican American community that surrounds them, but that
Yes.
embraces them,
Yes.
and so that they learn through the Mexican American community, what being a man really is about, what being a
Mhm.
human being is about,
Right.
and knowing the vibrancy of love, that frequency of love, is what is all you need. And so that's
Well
that's
said.
essentially her to-do list of raising her son.
Yeah. No, I think if we could just take 2 more minutes and talk about the the connection and the disconnection with the glitch, and with her own spirituality. What we will talk about this in more depth. All of you all who work with the angels, we will be going into a deep dive with that next time we all get together, because you're going to have read the script, and we're going to talk about that journey with her spirituality. But Edgar, is there anything that you want to add to that? And then I'm going to ask you to introduce Dan.
You got it. Well, the glitch presents itself as a great metaphor for that angel energy that surrounds us every day. And when you talk about angels, it freaks people out. It really does.
Mhm.
And so you have skeptics out there that they don't believe. But if you tell a story in a way that you can let them know that it's about the healing energy that surrounds us as people, that there are human angels
Yeah.
that do the type of work around you, that help you, that can come in to educate you, to give you that piece of wisdom when you need it. Um, they exist, and that's real, and that's, I think, a skeptic can get that and embrace that, and also with the power of intention. And
Mhm.
the glitch, I think, to the people that in the movie that see it are going to interpret it in their own way.
Yes.
And that's the beauty of cinema, that it's
Mhm.
subjective. You'll be able to see how that metaphor speaks to you. And like in those communities, that especially in Latin America, where they see miracles like that, when they see the statue crying, or the image of
Mhm.
Christ in the cloud, or whatever it
Mhm.
is,
Mhm.
um, they can relate to it in their own way, and what their backgrounds and their environments brings them to that. But
Mhm.
for the skeptic, we also want to reach out to those skeptics, so
Yeah.
that they can see that it's grounded, that it's possible, that you as a person can be an angel just from your act of kindness.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So I'm going to actually move out of this chair, and Dan Moore is going to come sit down.
Well,
All
I
right.
let me introduce Dan here. This
Okay.
is a guy. who gave me my first job in Hollywood, and I am indebted to him. For many years, worked as a costume designer in some of my favorite films. I had the pleasure of meeting Dan Moore in El Paso, Texas, when he came to film a movie there, and we've been friends ever since. And this was back in 1995 when I first met Dan, and we've been friends together. He produced my short film, and it's a pleasure to introduce you all to Dan Moore.
Thanks, Edgar. The reason I'm being introduced is that after more than 25 years since we met Edgar, we're finally going to be able to get him to direct a movie for us. It's only been 25 years in the making. But my job on this movie as a producer is to remind everyone that kind of alongside the seriousness of the story and the absolute kind of spirituality and everything that we take from that movie, what we also have to do is remember how much fun it is to make movies, and we need to imbue it with that spirit. And Edgar showed up when I was working on a movie in 1995, and he sort of sneaked into a group of students that were being, I got the job of showing them around our set when we came to El Paso to shoot. And Edgar was a big fan of the director that we had, and showed me some laser discs that he had of our director, and wondered if maybe I could help him get a signature on them. And of course, that was the easy part, because anybody's glad to write a signature down, or an autograph for someone who's a big fan. And so that's how we got started to be friends. And then you always need more help when you're making a movie, and Edgar signed on to help us as a production assistant. And we managed to get through that through very cold and rainy weather in El Paso, where you didn't expect to have it. But we've been friends ever since then. And we're going to actually, I'm going to try to take my over 30 years of experience and sometimes struggles, but mostly a lot of hard work and a lot of fun, and just bring what I've learned in that time to this very serious subject matter, and just have a lot of fun doing it. And it's going to be proven that if we go at this with the right spirit for each other and for the people that we bring in, our actors, and the help of folks like you who can help us distribute it to the world, help us spread the word. Mm-hmm. That's what's going to give us a good, clean, clear-hearted soul as we do this. And that's a really, really important part of making this movie. So.
Thank you, darling.
Yay. Thanks, Dan.
Okay. So I think let's talk a little bit about Las Cruces, yes, and why we picked this wonderful location. And yeah, because the slideshow that we showed everyone at the top of this hour was just a taste of this extraordinary landscape. Go ahead, Edgar.
Right. I mean, the video you did see mentioned the town of Socorro outside of El Paso, and that was our intention before the pandemic happened. And then the pandemic happened, and we had to rethink a strategy. And we landed in Las Cruces, which is still outside of El Paso, but it's in New Mexico. Yeah. And what I loved about Las Cruces is not only the geography, but I think, like the motto of the state says, it is the land of enchantment. And it certainly provides that for Ella and our characters, that there is something magical about Las Cruces, about New Mexico, that I just love. It was a place that I would go to frequently in a little town called Mesilla. They had this little nonprofit art house movie theater. And it's the only place I could go and see foreign films. As a high school student, I would drive out there and watch these movies, and so it's always had a special place in my heart. But New Mexico has always been that. So in many ways, I feel that the Mexican American community, especially where I grew up, feels New Mexican. It feels like we are part of this new Mexico within the
Mm.
United States, so that we are proud to be both Americans and part of this culture, this Mexican culture. And so New Mexico definitely provides that. And so the landscape, the background, and with the culture, and also the Native American population, I think lends a great spirituality to the land that I think is perfect for the setting of our movie.
Well, Edgar, I'm going to ask you just hang on for a couple
Sure.
minutes in case anyone in the comments wants to ask a question.
Okay.
Deb, does that sound all right to you? Let's see. Okay. Does anyone have any question? Oh gosh, thanks for all these links, you all. It looks fantastic. Is there anyone can wants to be able to ask questions, because we did kind of the webinar folks. This is a comment from Jean. Oh, hi, Jean. Wow. Sherry, this has been wonderful. How could you not want to see this movie? It sounds wonderful. If I might suggest, there's an old movie, not very well known, called Maldonado's Miracle. It might be worth a look. See, I will help as much as I can. Jean.
Thank you,
Thank
Gene.
you. Jean lives in El Paso. So, is there anyone who's on live who wants to jump in the comments? Tell us where you're from, because this is the time that we really get to, it's kind of exciting. I'm just a girl from Ohio. I really love seeing when we can connect with people around the United States. And if we can't comment at this moment, we'll catch up with you later. But I do want to make sure that you all have my email. Is more comments? Let's see. Okay. I want to make sure that you have my email, because what we're going to be doing from here on out, every month, we're going to be presenting the next chapter, the next gathering. And the more we get our tech together, and the more that we get our time zones together, we are going to be informing you about what's going on with the film. So you're going to get to some really great behind the scenes from Edgar about how he's thinking about it and what we're doing next, and how that whole process is. And Dan will talk about it. And of course, I'll talk about it. And we are going to next month do two things. First thing we're going to do is take a deep dive into the story, because I want my angel people, hosts, to understand that there is a healing and the process of, as Edgar was talking about, of accessing love. That process of accessing love and healing is something that I really want to make sure that we're, just put that into a dialogue with myself and all you all. And so next session will be the update, and then we'll be talking very deeply about the script. And but the third thing we're going to be doing, and we're going to start that today, is we're going to be talking about how we are going to be working together in partnership. Now, let me check what the comments are, because I might have missed a few. Oh, how long will the shoot be, sir?
Well,
thanks, Jennifer.
That's a great question. We're looking to budget at 20 days. 20 days to shoot. Yeah, which doesn't give us a lot, but because this is going to be a low budget film, that's going to be on me to do my homework to make sure that we get those days in, and get it done. Get everything we need in the editing room in order to create a great movie.
Thank you, Bennett. Oh, Bennett Gale. He's so great. He said the heart energy is palpable.
Oh, that's great. That's really nice. That's really nice.
It's
And
really, oh man,
I do
that's
want to respond to, was it Gene who mentioned the Maldonado
yes.
Miracle? It's interesting. I was this close of working on that movie. This close. I had just done a movie with Salma Hayek, and she directed that movie that you're talking about, the Maldonado Miracle, and she had asked me to be her assistant director.
Oh.
Yeah, she did, and I had to turn it down because I technically was not an AD. She thought because I was the assistant to the director that made me qualify as an assistant director on the set, and that's a whole different skill set. But I thought that was really nice of her to think that I could do it. But
Yeah.
yeah, but that was a good movie, and they shot that in Utah actually because of the tax credit there.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Too bad. Well, now Terry. Hi, Terry Angel. Terry. Terry Angel says, "I love the script and the concept for the movie. I can't wait to see it as a film." Thank you. Thank you, Terry.
Thank
Thank
you,
you. You're going
Terry.
to be a big piece of this. Um, Here's another one from one of our Facebook. Hello. Oh, gosh. Thank you. Hello, and thank you for trailblazing, reminding us that life is to be experienced, enjoyed, even through movies. You bring awareness of our basic truth, spirit on a human journey to the surface for all. It's the right time. We support you. Thank you. Wow.
Amazing. That's great, and that's true. There's this great line from this movie called Grand Canyon that Lawrence Kasdan directed back in 1991. And there's a great line that Steve Martin says. That that's the problem with a lot of people that don't watch movies. All
Huh?
of all of life's riddles are answered in the movies. And I truly believe that. I truly with It's like reading a book as well. I also endorse reading. Don't get me wrong, but growing up watching movies was my education in many ways into the American culture, but also into um, human nature. And I learned a lot from watching these movies. And so I agree with you that movies can teach us to show our truth and to show that we are alike in many ways. And also through like logic being cultural, it shows us that our differences make us unique. But at the same time, I think it can explain a lot to those that don't understand and maybe show us empathy where we don't have it.
For example, being a girl who grew up in Ohio and did not have any Latin neighbors in the entire state.
Right.
I mean, that's a long time not to know any. I mean, and I really feel that that's one of the great gifts of the film that we get and we have with you and we have with our location.
Yep.
Oh, thank you, Debbie, for putting in the. I want to ask everyone who is watching to make sure that you send me your email. So I'm going to give you my email address right now because you are going to be on the list for the next piece of this. My address is Sherry at angelladymovie.com. Okay. Sherry at SHERI at angelladymovie.com. Okay. Oh, well, the first kind of support we're going to need tonight. Thank you, Jennifer. That's a really great question. Support we're going to talk about tonight is hearing from everyone who has watched this, who is actually in the business of communicating with angels, working as a therapist, a spiritual teacher, an author, even someone who leads a group. Are you interested in hosting a screening of our film? We want to know that because then we begin to, then you're invited back, of course, and then we start to work with you in terms of what are your resources and what can we help you with. That's how you can help us right now. And the other way you can help is by donating. If you are able to, we have a tax deductible, what are they called? Fiscal sponsor. Fiscal sponsor. Great organization called the Film Collaborative. And that link is there also in the comments. Donations are great. Your commitment to working with us, telling your spiritual friends that we have this going on, and then getting on the ride is the most important thing you could do, because what we're going to be doing in 2 days is we're going to be doing another evening, and we're going to do it for our friends and family, and we're going to be speaking to people about the angel community. and how our friends in the angel community and the spiritual community are stepping up and eager to work with us to host screenings of our film when the film is ready to launch. Because, and I should have my producing partner here, and because as a producer, there's nothing more exciting than being able to tell your investors they're going to have a really great opening, and we're going to be selling a lot of tickets. We're going to have a lot of excitement, and the word is going to spread through the grassroots first. Anything, Edgar, we can should add to that?
Well, we're building an audience, and you're the
Yes.
start.
Thank
You are the beginning.
Yeah.
You are, and through word of mouth, especially those that we feel might like this movie or might like this kind of story, please let them know. Get onto our Film Collaborative website and just spread the word.
Yeah. 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 We are also open for sponsors. So if you know someone who has a business who might want to have something placed in our film, product placement, we're open to that. And we're also open to foundations and nonprofits. Because next session, when we get deep into the story and we talk about Ella's journey from prison, from an abusive childhood through prison and out into the world, we're going to be talking about things that we can do as a collective to bring this story forward, the theme of the story forward. I hope that's making sense. But we are going to be working together.
Right. There's opportunities to partner up with organizations that help battered women.
Thank you.
Yes, that that really do help the transition from prison to regular life. Things like that. That there's opportunities for that.
Because I really believe that our angel lady hosts, those who are listening now and those who come on and see this later, if this sparks to you, you obviously you're a healer, and the healing, this is a healing story, and we want the healing to be able to, I mean, it's going to be happening through your own hosting, you bringing your energy to this, and we will talk in more detail, of course. When we have your email, we'll talk in more detail in terms of how we're going to over this year roll this out. Any other questions, Debbie? Oh, thank you for updating. Gosh, I think I am going to thank Karen Palmer, who is in our webinar. she's in the Zoom room. Karen Palmer, I don't know if you can come into the StreamYard, but I am so grateful for you, and I'm so grateful for your yes. Karen Palmer and Debbie Garcia. I think, Deb, you can come on, can't you? And so we can say a little bit about you. And I can love
Hi,
it.
everybody.
Thank you, Deb.
It was so much fun. That was great.
Yeah.
Hi.
Thank you. Thank you. And Debbie and Karen are going to be back with me every month. And we're going to start working deeply, sharing the story, and also talking about marketing and talking about tools. One of the great things you're going to have at your disposal, if you, Karen!
There's Karen.
Yay, Karen! Oh gosh, I'm so okay, y'all. I'm so in love with these two women, Debbie and Karen.
Yay, Karen! I'm sorry, I had to close that down. We have people over in the Zoom room, and I've been trying to type in the questions in the chat and catch up with everything. And oh my God, what a beautiful, beautiful first time for us to all be together. And Edgar, you are such an inspiration. Oh my goodness, what a blessing. What an absolute blessing to hear your understanding of this experience. And really, like Niobe just said, our world needs this so much right now. Our world really needs this message. And when I read the script and Sherry asked me to be a part of this, I just fell in love with the script, and I was just like, anything I can do to help this, I'll be honored and humbled to be a part of this beautiful structure. It's amazing what you've accomplished and what you've already put together. I just feel so blessed to be a part of this. Thank you so much.
Oh, Karen.
Thank you, Karen.
Absolutely.
All right, we're echoing.
I was trying not to echo. I hope
I don't
it
know
wasn't
who's echoing.
No.
close down as many
I
things
wanna-
as possible.
I just want to say I'm really grateful to everybody here and to everybody who's watching and who wants to support this incredible endeavor. You know what it was said so perfectly by you, Edgar, talking about toxic masculinity, talking about just I was actually just studying this in my gender communications class, and this is such an important topic about creating safe space for men to feel able to share vulnerably and women to be able to receive. Women are receivers. What better way than to bring in the energy of the angels?
Yes.
And I am so honored and grateful to be here, to be of service however I can be. And Karen, I love you. Thank you for thinking of me. And Sherry, thank you for thinking of me. And thank you, Dan, and thank you, Edgar, for stepping forward, our gentlemen, to make this
Yes.
possible as well.
Yes. Yes. Well, this is a great launch, and we're going to be seeing more of each other. And um, I just can't express enough how excited I am that we will be working with people who we love and treasure, and who love and treasure the angels, and will be partners. This is going to be great. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. So, this is what I wanted to say. If you send in your email, Sherry at Angel Lady Movie, you not only get the script, and you get It's Too Late to Quit, my book, right? But you're also going to get invited to a webinar about Pinterest, because we're going to teach you some marketing, and I'm going to show you Pinterest because I want to help people with it. So that's going to be a freebie that comes out. Just send me your email, and that's kind of the beginning.
I just want to pop in really quick, and everybody, I put this into the chat. You can go there and you can take a look at the previews that you were looking at tonight. I also want to remind you that this is in the chat as well if you just joined us, and that is how that you are able to support the show, the movie right here. And then also I want to bring your attention to this. This is the Facebook group. If you have not joined this, please do so, and make sure that you update it to say show first, so that you always are updated to see what's happening here on the Angel Lady movie. And as she said, it's going to be back every week. So remember that, put it onto your calendar and become part of this amazing community, and be the ones to say, we help do this. Everybody is being called to be of service. So rock and roll, man. Bring it. Bring it.
We're launching
Thank you. Rock and
we're
roll.
launching our partnership with the angels.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And we'll be in touch.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Edgar. Thank you, Debbie.
Angels are everywhere.
All right.
Angels are
Angels
everywhere.
are everywhere. All right.
Love
Signing
y'all.
off, everybody.